I'm Patrick Guzek, and over the last 1.5 years, I've spent over 1 million on Facebook ads across 35 different niches. I've tested everything, and this is the structure that I'm constantly coming back to. Let's get into it. Okay, step one will be actually showing people who you are, engaging with this cold traffic. But remember, at the top of the funnel, your only job is to be visible, nothing else, People need to see you and they need to feel something when they do. Forget selling here. Remember, instead of selling, create a longer form awareness video, around 2 to 5 minutes. It should introduce your brand, but not like in a corporate reel, okay? It should tell a story, show real people, ideally include some humor or, light tone. You want it to build affinity and show expertise. A good example is a brand origin story or a behind the scenes vibe. It should make people think, okay, I like these guys. The second way to interact with these top of the funnel people could be, boosting your organic content. You can provide short, interesting posts, stories, even memes, anything that builds a warm audience and social proof. Targeting here, start broad, but guide the algorithm in a little bit. Use interest-based audiences related to your industry. You can also launch a broad lookalikes like, 10% based on website traffic to seed meta with useful signals. Okay, now let's move to the MOFU, the stage where we'll be engaging a little bit more with the warm traffic. We will be building trust. Now that people know your brand exists, it's time to nurture. This is where authority and education comes in. So you can, for example, promote value-based blog articles. You can run traffic campaigns to blog posts that solve real problems for your ideal client. Don't overthink that format. Just, make sure that content is good. The goal is to educate while positioning yourself and your brand as an expert. The second idea could be running a lead magnet campaign. This could be an ebook, a guide, a checklist, or a template to download, something that speaks directly to your audience's pain point. Use a lead form or send people to a landing page. You are not just collecting emails. Remember, you are segmenting your audience and identifying your potential buyers. Target people, for example, who watch at least 25 to 50% of your tofu videos. Maybe visited your website or specific blog pages. Engage with your content. Combine this with email nurturing. Once someone downloads the lead magnet, you send them a sequence that gives more value, tells more stories, and builds a relationship, which is actually the most important part. Okay, moving on to what could be actually the most important part, which is, finally converting this hot traffic. And now, when it's time to convert, people already know you. They've seen your content, maybe read your blog, maybe downloaded something. Now they are ready to take the next step. So you can either run your basic sales campaigns or remarketing campaigns when it comes to e-commerce, or run a Facebook lead form campaign. Here you offer a free consultation, a discovery call, or something that lowers the barrier of entry but starts the sales conversation. Focus the creative on a pain-based hook. Call out the problem they are facing. Prepare a clear offer, a free consultation, custom plan code, etc., etc. Clear CTA, fill out the form, book now, etc. Targeting, only warm audiences. People who watch MOFU videos, visited key pages, downloaded the lead magnet. And pro tip, remember, speed matters. So, have your system where someone from your sales team calls the lead within 2 hours. The faster you will respond to them, the higher your conversion rate will be. Also, make sure your sales team knows how to sell to this kind of a lead. It's not the same as closing a referral. Remember, train them on how to qualify, how to ask better questions, and connect offer with buyer's dream outcome. Last step that people are actually incorporating in their activities, but not doing that in the way that could be the most optimal, is remarketing. And in here you have to be unforgettable. Most businesses ignore this step, but this is where the biggest return on investment is hiding. Remember, here the goal is simple: stay on top of their mind until they are ready to say yes. And my suggestion will be to run an omnipresent campaign. This is a remarketing campaign targeting all warm audiences, video viewers, social followers, and lead magnet downloaders. Use short, snappy videos in those three categories. And the first one will be value-based. You provide a value-based content in here, and yeah, nothing groundbreaking. Give real insights, solve small problems, show your expertise. People should feel like they've already gotten something before they even buy. The second category will be focusing on behind the scenes, showing people progress walkthroughs, show how your onboarding works, what the experiences is like. This lowers actually the buyer anxiety and builds the trust, so the people will be more likely to convert. And the third and final category will be focused on testimonials, letting people, real clients actually, speak. Show people who are just like your ideal customers getting real results. Again, only retarget warm audiences here. There are people who already showed interest. Now you just need to close the loop, Okay, the last step, which is actually optional but much recommended, especially for service and educational businesses. And if your offer needs a bit more education or, trust building, webinars can be a game changer. Here's how it works. Pick a topic that solves a real pain or answers a burning question. Run ads for a webinar registration, deliver high value, no bullshit content, pitch softly, and at the end, offer a consultation, audit, strategy session. You know that game, right? So you can even reuse your blog content to come up with webinar topics. And it will depend on the part of the funnel that you will want to place those webinars in. When it comes to the top of the funnel, you will be creating a more eye-grabbing, more, wider audience topics that will be more interesting to wider audience. When it comes to middle of the funnel, those people already interacted with your content, so you can be more specific. And when it comes to bottom of the funnel, you have these people already warmed up, so you can be super specific and focus on your offer and, create a webinar that will describe your offer in few steps, so people will understand what they will be buying. Now we've came to the end of this funnel structure creation. This funnel structure is simple yet extremely powerful, and it's flexible enough to adapt to almost any niche and any budget. Now, if you want to build a funnel like this inside your own business, click the link down below in the description and book a free strategy call. And if you want to see how I took this client from 0 to 50 clients, actually high ticket clients a month, check out this video in here. And for now, like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what kind of businesses you run. I might break it down for you in the next video. See you soon, and for now, stay above the break even. Peace.